Hi, my name is Rachel Ye, and I work as an analyst at Puget Sound Energy. Growing up, I always enjoyed math and science, but particularly math. My last year in high school, I was determined to finish all the math that was available to me and actually took 2 math classes my last year. I also really enjoyed physics, but I actually think that a lot of that is because there's a lot of math involved. So thinking about, say, if an object would float in water or sink, or the speed at which a car goes. In my current role, I would say I do not identify as a scientist or an engineer, but possibly as an applied mathematician. The title mathematician tends to be associated with research or thinking about the possibilities of math, whereas the math that I use tends to be very practical and needs to be explainable to your average person. So I would say the title applied mathematician might be a better fit for me. There are a number of experiences that led me to where I am today. One, I had a number of friends that decided to pursue engineering, and I liked the idea of kind of studying math that was very relatable but different than what they had. And second, my mom actually was a math major, and even though she did not pressure me into going into the field, I think knowing that she could complete the degree gave me confidence that I could as well. I currently work at Puget Sound Energy as an energy resource planning acquisition analyst. That's a mouthful, but essentially my team and I work to bring solar and batteries to the grid. The grid is the network in which energy is transferred from where it's produced to where it's used in the community, so at your schools or your homes or your businesses. Electricity powers just about everything in today's world, so anything from your phone to your computer or your tablet to even some cars. I specifically work with help making financial decisions and whether or not a project might be a good investment or a good buy for our customers and for the company. So this means that I need to understand how solar and batteries work, how they benefit the company and the community and our customers, and also how much things cost. To do my job, there are a number of skills and abilities that you need. I spend a lot of time on the computer playing around with formulas, kind of explaining the work that I've done and helping drive decisions. I think you need a lot of mathematical understanding. Some programming is helpful. And then I also think communication is very important. I often have to explain pretty complex ideas to a wide variety of people. In particular, my work is focused on bringing more clean and renewable energy to the community. Clean energy is environmentally friendly and doesn't release a whole lot of pollution into our environment, so it's a great resource to use. One thing that excites me about my current job is that I see a direct connection from the work that I do into making a slightly better world for everybody. I guess one thing that I find difficult in my current line of work is that I've only been in my role for about 1.5 years. And so there's a lot of things that I'm still learning about the industry and about my job. That being said, I do enjoy learning. And so even though it can be challenging at times, I've also found it highly rewarding. Now I'm going to answer some questions from students who had a field trip at Pacific Science Center. Samara in the 3rd grade asks, why do you enjoy math? There are a couple of reasons why I enjoy math. One reason is that it's easy to see a link from math to the real world. Things like dividing up a treat between you and your siblings, or going to the store and figuring out how much your total bill might cost are all ways that we use math in the everyday world. I guess another reason that I enjoy math is also it tends to have just one answer. There's no opinions. It's not one person thinks the answer should be this and another person thinks the answer should be that. Omar in 4th grade asks, how does a battery get more energy? The types of batteries that I work with are rechargeable. They recharge with energy from the grid. So just like plugging in your phone or your computer, the batteries can pull energy from the grid. But we can also pair them with solar panels, which generate energy from the sun, so that we can power things in the evening when sunshine is not available. Batteries are important because they enable us to save the energy for use at a later time. If the power goes out and we don't have any more energy, we could potentially use a battery to power something. Dalton in the 4th grade asks, can you use renewable energy over and over and over again? Renewable energy is made from resources that naturally replenish, so things like sunshine, wind, and water. Since these resources are unlimited, we can use them over and over again. Thank you so much for joining me today. One thing I'd like to add is that anybody who's interested in studying math, know that it's not always easy. That being said, there's a couple things that I've learned. One, having people who are studying the same subject and being able to have like a study buddy was very helpful for me. And then second, sometimes you don't get it the first time around, and that's okay. Sometimes it takes time for things to sink in, and sometimes a different approach or a different teacher or some time really helps to make those concepts sink in better. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing with Puget Sound Energy, check the link in the description. And be sure to stay curious.